Today, we're going to be testing our DeepAgent, which comes from Abacus AI. This is supposedly a God tier general agent. Reminds me of something like Genspark or Manus as well. But the difference here is that it's quite a lot cheaper as well. So, for example, I think Manus for $49 on the lower package. This is $10 per month per user. And it has some interesting features. So we can see some of the examples here, like technical reports about MCPs, presentations on benchmarks, book club, website. Let's have a look at this. So this is essentially how it works. If we play this right now, we can have a look at what it's doing and how it does it. You can create like Next.js websites, SaaS tools, etc. Basically automate many things that you would like to. So we'll be testing out with some of my best prompts today and seeing exactly how it performs and whether it really is the tier agent that we can see before us. So that's an example of the book club website. If we actually skip to the end, see what we got here. So this is an example of the website generated. So it seems to be able to generate websites. Here's another example of a Jira dashboard that it can create. So it can actually take data and then create like really nice dashboards out of it. So let's have a look here. So you see it's taking the data from the chat, and then we've got the Jira dashboard example right there. And it seems to be able to deploy to subdomains as well. So whatever you build on here, you can actually do. Now, one of the biggest differences I can see with this is you can actually connect it to Gmail, and it can actually send emails for you, which is super interesting. So it's NA10 or these other AI agents, except the difference here is that instead of building the workflow out yourself, you seem to be able to automate it, which I'll test later on in this video. So you can see here, for example, fetch my emails from Gmail and summarize the activity in the past day. Then it's got the email address right here. And it seems to have an MCP connected to Gmail directly inside the tool, which is pretty cool. So that is a huge upgrade, but we'll test it out and see how to set it up later on today, because this is the first time that I've used it and I want to test it out in live in real time. And feel free to ask any questions as we go along if you have anything that you want me to show you during this stream. All right. So let's get straight into it. The way to get access is via Abacus AI. Bear in mind, if you want to find the DeepAgent section, just click on DeepAgent in the bottom left here. So you see under Tools, and then you go to DeepAgent, and that takes you actually to the DeepAgent section. This is quite different to Root LLM. So there's a default version here for Abacus AI, which is like Root LLM. And then you can see what you can do here. So for example, screenshot, video gen, lip sync, text to speech, task. So we'll take one of the prompts from the AI Profit board, and feel free to get that link in the comments description from the master list of prompts. Let's try this prompt. It was a really cool prompt that I saw on Twitter from Petri Kutanen. So it's for creating a Space Invaders game. So we're going to take that and then we'll plug it into the task section over here. All right. So this is quite an advanced prompt. I want to see how it does. So I'm going to say, figure this all out yourself for now and just see if it can just handle stuff without me having to get involved here. It's got the thinking process as well. So it seems to be like, it seems to be using some sort of reasoning model. Whilst that's generating, let's go back to the helper section here and just see what it can do. So it says typically if it's conducting in-depth analysis and research, it's going to take about 5 to 25 minutes to get set up. You have to keep your system on whilst it's doing that. It can generate PDFs, PowerPoints, and code. There are usage limits, so each task takes about 50K to 100K compute points, depending on its complexity. How many points do I have? Let's have a look. Quite hard to find out where your points are, actually, to be fair. Let's have a look. We'll go in the profile section here. I can't actually see where my total points are, to be honest with you. All right. Prompting basics. Okay, and then website deployment and hosting. So you can... It seems to be hosting, and it looks like they're releasing deployment on custom domains super soon. We'll see how that goes. We've got the shooter right here. Let's preview it. Oh, it's still thinking, still coding out right there as well. Here we have the Space Invaders game. That, to be fair, is much better than the basic version. So here's the Space Invaders. Oh, yeah, it's just, that is not a bad game at all, is it? Pretty hard to play, actually, to be fair as well. It's taking me back to my days in the 90s. All right, so you can see here you've got a dev URL. So if we actually, let's try and copy that. We have to deploy it. Okay. So we'll call this Space Invaders test abacus AI.app. Hit deploy. If you're wondering how to get access to this, you can get access at abacus.ai. Then we've deployed the game over here. I'm surprised how well that actually coded it out first time round. Like, pretty impressive, to be fair. If you actually compare the try on the normal version, So let me go back to Abacus AI. I'll show you what I mean. So it's two different versions of Abacus from what I can see. So you got your standard sort of chat on root LLM, for example, like this. And this is what you would normally get with Abacus AI. So for example, if we go on this code over here, and we go on the preview, that is the same prompt, but using the normal version of Abacus. And then if you want to see the DeepAgent version, this is the DeepAgent version over here. It's quite different, to be fair. There's a big difference there. I wouldn't say it's a mind-blowing game or anything like that, but it is. You definitely get better outputs with the DeepAgent than you do with normal. Also, it was fairly fast to create. What I can actually do for you is compare this versus Genspark, all right? So Genspark is a pretty affordable tool as well. We'll use exactly the same prompt inside Genspark and just see which one gives us the better outputs. So let's take exactly the same prompt over here, copy that, we'll go over to Genspark, plug that in, and see which one performs the best, which one gives us the best output. One thing you're going to notice is that I think with Abacus, you actually get a lot more questions here. So you see how it asks you like 6 different questions? I just said figure it all out yourself, but still, just something to bear in mind there. Whereas, for example, in Genspark, it like just literally says, would you like me to proceed with creating this HTML5 game? And goes off and does it. So it's pretty simple and easy to do there. Now, some people are saying they've had some errors with DeepAgent. I've not had any errors so far, but I only tested it once. So we'll keep going and test out some other stuff. I'm going to leave these 2 tabs running in the background. So we've got a Space Invaders game over here as well. If you want all these prompts, etc., feel free to get them inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So what we'll do now is we'll test out building a website. And so I'm going to go over to our list of prompts inside the AI Profit Boardroom here. And let's grab an example full website. This is going to be an interesting one, actually. I'll show you the output from Manus and Genspark in a minute. So we're going to say 5-page website example, create a 5-page website for Julian Goldie's agency, blah, blah, blah. So this is what I did on Genspark. I said, research Julian Goldie and create an SEO agency website for him. So we're going to do the same prompt inside DeepAgent over here. We'll plug that in. And if you want to see, okay, what did we get back from Genspark using exactly the same prompt? Here we go. So this is the website that Genspark went off and created with exactly the same prompt. Really cool stuff. Like, I was actually super impressed with the output here. You can see like nice design, looks super modern, looks better than my own website. It pulled out some real facts and information from it directly. And then it added even like pictures from my actual website with case studies, etc. Right? So I want to see how DeepAgent performs when it comes to that. So I'm just going to say, go figure all this out yourself. And we'll see how these perform side by side. Now, if you want to see, okay, how does Genspark compare versus Manus? So we actually have a full course on Manus as well, if you want to test this stuff out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it all inside the DeepAgent notes inside the AI Profit Boardroom if you want to just compare this stuff side by side. And actually, one of the things straight away compared to these agents is there is a huge difference in the quality that these agents can do, right? For example, if you compare these, right, you've got Genspark, that did a really awesome job using this prompt. The output from Manus was okay. So this is the website from Manus. It's not bad. It's not great. So you can see this was deployed on manus.space. The individual pages work, but it's all super generic fluff, right? There's nothing in there that blows people away. And also, all the images are super generic and just stock images compared to Genspark. So let's see how it's performing in DeepAgent. So it's doing its research on YouTube, etc. It's got access to the internet. So it's currently doing the research. It's like, right, Julian Goldie SEO agency background services, Julian Goldie YouTube channel, case studies, achievements, etc. Recognition. And it's pulling out all the latest features from me, even my social blade actually, which is interesting. And then it's just going off and doing the research. So it actually creates a full research report on me first before it creates a website, which is interesting. So it's like, right, here's Julian Goldie, here's his history, online presence, etc. It's actually found multiple YouTube channels from me as well, which is interesting. It's found our legal entity. Good stuff. The mission and vision, services offered. Actually, what's interesting about that is it didn't find that we actually sell the AI automation, but it did. Oh yeah, it's got it down there. So fair play to it. All right. So pretty good so far, pretty good stuff. So it's creating the website plan now, working its magic of it. And Johnny says, Genspark builds better websites and landing pages than WRECKS, but you can't export a website to WRECKS from Genspark without losing WRECKS tools. identifies Genspark as external. So it's a bit of a letdown. Yeah, that's the only issue, but one of the best ways to overcome that is like you can get the code and you can host it locally, and then you can push it to GitHub and connect GitHub to Netlify, and that way you get the automatic updates, you make any changes. But yeah, you won't be able to like I don't think you can fully migrate like a website in HTML to WordPress or Wix, etc., without losing some of the initial stuff that you did. It's just going to be hard to import and export stuff. These platforms are not like made to communicate with each other. All right, so that is taking a little bit of time. I'm not going to lie to you. So we've got it coding out right there. It's building out the website plan. That is a very in-depth plan. I wonder what it's going to look like once it's actually created. So you can see, for example, it's pretty crazy. So executive summary is kind of like a report. Then it's got the site structure, services, results, about, resources, programs, and contact, secondary navigation, user flow, etc. And then also it's planned out pretty much every single page, along with a SEO keyword strategy, which is crazy. If it builds all that in one go, I'm going to be blown away. I just can't see how it's going to create that much content, but we'll see in a sec. We'll keep checking in there. All right, so it's now starting with the implementation and it's building out the website, Tailwind, etc. In the meantime, what we can do is just run another DeepAgent in the background. So start a new chat here whilst that's updating, and we'll set up a new task. So what I'd quite like to do, let's have a look here. We're going to say create a powerful presentation comparing Genspark versus Manus versus DeepAgent on Abacus AI. And tell me which one performs best. Plus, make the design amazing. That should be a much quicker task because it's just creating a basic sort of presentation. Oh, look at that. You've reached a maximum limit for tasks. You can only execute 2 tasks during this period. That's interesting, isn't it? So I can't create more than 2 tasks. Right, we might be running the test short here. So it seems like I can only do 2 tasks at a point. We'll be introducing a pro tier that will enable you to run more agents. If you actually compare that versus Genspark, like Genspark, you can create as many as you want from what I've seen. You may hit the limit, but I've never hit the limit itself. That's interesting. So there's definitely a drawback there. Like you can't create as many tasks as you want. You're going to be limited to 2 a day. Even on the Manus beta period, which was free, you could do 3 tasks a day. So let's see how the website performs in the background. In the meantime, I guess we can check out some of the other demos because I'm limited here. I can't show you more than 2 tasks at a time. It's a bit of a shame. The game so far has been good, but that's going to be tough. Let's see how it works with the Gmail stuff. So this is connecting Gmail using, and this took 20,000 points. You can see how many points it took. All right, so it says fetch my emails from Gmail and summarize the activity in the past day. Blah, blah, blah. I wonder how it's connecting to Gmail. Like, how do you connect to Gmail? Let's see here. So you got a connect app option there. So you can add Google Drive, you can add OneDrive, and then you can connect your account there. So it seems to connect Google Drive. I can't see a Gmail option. You can add from files, you can upload from computer, but it doesn't seem to be able to connect Gmail from what I can see. All right, I'll tell you what we'll do then, is because we can only do 2 tasks at a time, we'll go back to the 2D space shooter, and I'm going to say, okay, now make this 3D. Let's see if that can perform. Look, you can't run multiple tasks at a time. So it says, you already have a task running. Please wait for it to finish or stop before it starts, before starting a new one. So we have to wait for the website to finish before we can get on to the next one. This is interesting stuff because, like, for example, if I go onto Genspark, that was pretty much ready to go straight off the bat, right? So let's have a look. And if you look at the output, so this is the Space Invaders AI agent. Compare them side by side. So this one seems to have broken. I'm just going to go back. So compare these side by side. So this is the one from Genspark, and this is the one from Abacus AI. I would say this is a lot more basic as a game, the one from Abacus AI. Let's see, for example, I'm going to say the game from Genspark is a lot better, but also inside Genspark, like you can have multiple tasks running at the same time. So if we go back to Genspark over here, and we'll go back to home, we'll say, okay, inside of tasks, where have we got here? I'm going to say, okay, all right, so we've got this task running in the background. Then if we duplicate the tab, we'll start up a new task here, and we say create a free SEO keyword research tool. Number 1, we're not limited to 2 tasks a day, but number 2, we can have 2 tasks running at the same time, right? So we've got this task running, and we got this task running on Genspark. which just makes it a bit more convenient because then you got multiple AI. You've got an army of AI agents running in the background. Whereas, for example, on Abacus AI, you just can't do that. All right, it's not going to let you. So let's see how we're doing on the website from Abacus. It's done the website now and it's updating the page. Some people are asking as well, like, how does this compare to something like Optimus Alpha, which was the new AI from ChatGPT? Honestly, like, when that API was free, it was awesome because it was just so fast. It was so easy to use. You could build a lot of stuff with it, especially using Visual Studio Code. I've got a video on Optimus Alpha if you want to check that out on YouTube. But I would say something like this is a lot more autonomous, right? Because, for example, it'll go off, it's connected to the internet. You don't need any technical expertise to set up MCP servers. And also, it can deploy things for you on a subdomain, right? Which an API is like, it can do that, but you'd have to connect it to other things. So when you're using tools like Genspark or Manus or Abacus AI, these tools are like wrappers of multiple APIs and tools plugged together. Same with Replit as well. Like they're connecting different tools together. So it's a big difference, really. That's what makes these tools much more autonomous when it comes to building stuff out. Now we've got the tool from Space Invaders in 3D. That looks pretty cool, actually. Yeah, I'm just going to say that right now, Genspark is superior. That's almost like PlayStation game level. And also, you can do multiple tasks at the same time. So let's see what Abacus AI is doing now. So it's coding out the link building case studies. You can see what it's doing on the left-hand side here. For example, like building out the service pages, everything else. And someone else commented that it's rather expensive to build these prompts. The prompts are free for you to build, right? If you want to build these prompts, it's completely free. It's not going to cost you anything. The only thing that it's going to cost you really is the actual cost of the subscription to DeepAgent or Genspark or whatever. But those costs like what, $10-$20 a month, but they save you hundreds of hours. So, you can't beat it really. All right, so let's have a look now. Inside Abacus, it's come back to us and it's not been that useful, I'll be honest with you. So you can see here, for example, it says, unfortunately, I was unable to build a working application. Please use this code as a starting point. I'm not a coder, so I'm not gonna, there's no preview or anything. You get 2 tasks a day. One of them hasn't worked. The other one did work. And then it said, I'm stopping the task now. The process has been taking a long time and consuming resources because I've been attempting to build a complex SGS website with many components. Even though the agent was the one who decided to build a complex website, I just said, create a 5-page website. Keep it simple. Here's what's been done. The website deployment was resource intensive. And that was it, mate. You got a website with a bit of code, but there's nothing really there. It's not really done the job. It's a shame. That is a shame. So let's see if we can say, just code out the website, but simplify it. Oh, heavens to Betsy. You've reached the maximum number of compute points for this task. I mean, we can't use it, basically. It's game over. It's GG because we can only do 2 tasks a day. You only get a certain number of compute points per task. This task has run out of compute points, and we can't have multiple tasks running over at the same time. So am I going to switch from Genspark to DeepAgent? I would say absolutely not. It's got a lot of potential. Like, I'm sure it's going to be a great tool in the future, but right now, I can't see that promise of God tier. We were talking about God tier before. Like, Genspark literally just went off and created this research tool in 2 minutes, right? Just using that simple prompt. Whereas, for example, DeepAgent is just not doing its magic. It's not working the same way. It's not as good. It's not as autonomous. I can't see the option to add your Gmail as well. I think it's got a lot of potential, but right now it's just not ready. This is clearly in beta. It's clearly been hyped up, but it's not delivering on the value that something like maybe Genspark could. But who knows? Give it a month, give it a couple of months, it might be a lot better. Hope it improves. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to all the prompts that I mentioned today, feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. It also comes with a full course on how to use Genspark and also how to use Manus AI, including all of my best prompts and a crash course on how we implemented everything in our business to grow. All right. You can see, for example, inside the SAP section here, we have a master list of prompt section. This has tons of prompts for games, tools, websites, apps. If you really want to learn, okay, how do you implement this stuff in your business, right? How do you make AI practical? Feel free to check out the crash course because the crash course runs you through everything you need to know when it comes to implementing this stuff in your business, right? So for example, if you want to automate AI avatar videos based on what's working for us, automating emails for your customer service and sales team, etc. You can do all of that inside the crash course of the AI Profit Boardroom. And also there are weekly Q&A calls here. So you can jump on the Q&A calls, ask any questions you have, get help in real time. And yeah, that's it. So just to be very clear here, my vote right now is I'm going to say Genspark is number 1, Manus is number 2, purely because you can use it more, it's less restricted, the tasks actually work, the outputs are better, and also it seems to still be in the beta stage with DeepAgent. So I'm sure it'll improve, but it's coming in number 3 for me at the minute when it comes to autonomous agents. And then inside the classroom as well, you can feel free to post any questions that you have if you get stuck, etc. And you can get the help that you need, right? So you can see everyone's getting the help they need, posting inside the community right here. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that link in the comments and description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you get a free SEO domination plan. So this is a custom tailored game plan to grow your website with SEO. We'll answer any questions that you have one-to-one, and you'll learn the secrets of link building based on what's helped our clients grow their SEO traffic, like you can see from all the testimonials right here. I think if we go on the website, if we go on juliangoldie.com, let's see how many testimonials we got. We do have an insane number of testimonials on the website right here. It's basically an infinite scroll. Yeah, so you can see all the testimonials right here from happy clients we've helped with SEO. So if you want to join the gang, if you want to book in a free SEO strategy session, feel free to do that. Link in the comments and description. Appreciate you watching. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.